Hey gang, Kai here with Exped again. Look, I'm with the Gemini II, which is a new tent for us in 2012. It's part of our series of tents for 3-season use. And we're here out on a backpacking trip. Gemini II is a perfect example of the right tent for these kinds of circumstances. Relatively warm summer trip. Tonight we're looking at getting a little bit of rain, so we've got the fly on. Great chance to show you what's going on with this tent. It's a symmetrical tent that actually uses 4 poles, and the poles cross, these 2 poles cross here at this end, and the same thing happens at the far end. And then we have hubs here, which we'll show you during the setup in another video, but there are hubs where those poles come together. And you've got a vestibule on this side and a symmetrical vestibule on the other side, and multiple stakeout points. And another very interesting point is that we don't have it set up right now, but when you're guying this end and the other end, since it is symmetrical, out of this vent comes the guy line. So you are actually guying directly from the poles on this end and on that end. It makes a big difference rather than guying the tent from just the fly only. So what I'm going to do is flip this back and we just show you the structure of the inner tent as well. Unclip. And I should say, we've done a lot of tent videos and you've probably seen some of them here on YouTube. But today we have a special treat for you. And we've got a very rare showing of Dave.
Hi, gang.
Dave hanging out in his, he doesn't want to come out and hang out with these mosquitoes, so we said, yeah, you can stay in there while we do the video. So welcome, Dave. So this tent is set up so that there is tension created across this part so that water doesn't pool, and it's a simple matter of a toggle and a ring on both sides. So it creates this tension and doesn't allow water to pool there. So here you can see that pole configuration, a hub here and here, these 2 poles, and the same thing on the far end. You can see the size of the vestibule. Sorry, just about tripped and fell. You can see the size of the vestibule on each side, quite large, enough space for a pack. And again, like with these other 3-season tents that we've introduced, a lot of mosquito netting, and you can also see here the loop that you guy off of that I was just talking about. So a nice compact 2-person tent. And I think the last thing to really point out here is what our objective was with this tent. A very important thing when you're talking about tents. What did the designer have in mind? And what we had in mind here is to balance weight, lightweight, but maintain volume. So you'll see that the door heights are quite high, and the internal volume is very good. The walls are quite vertical. So when you get inside, you really feel pretty comfortable. You feel, for 2 people, for this footprint, that there's quite a bit of volume internally. So that's Gemini II. Look for our video on setup and take a look at that as well. Thanks a lot.